A few weeks ago we did a video called Croatia is the whitest country in the world, based on an article I wrote back in 2018. During the World Cup there was a anti-racism alliance, and they tweeted just before the World Cup final that somehow Croatia was racist because they only had white people in their team, which was a very ridiculous thing to say because the Nigerians only have black people in their team. It led me to do some research into how many foreigners were living here permanently, and the number I got back in 2018 was 29,186. So we were about 99.3% Croats, and of those 0.7, most of those were probably white as well, which I'm not saying is a good thing or a bad thing, it's just that it's a thing. And I've noticed, and I'm sure most people have noticed in Croatia, how over the last couple of years especially, there's been a marked increase in people coming to work from places like Nepal, places like the Philippines. And so I contacted the Ministry of the Interior to get the updated statistics. It took a bit of time, but when they came back, they gave me all the statistics for December 31st, 2022, so about 4.5 years after I did the original article. Back in 2018, there were only 5 countries that had more than 1,000 nationals with temporary or permanent residence here in Croatia, and they were Bosnia, Slovenia, Serbia, Germany, and Italy. Things have changed. There are now 19 countries that have that. And so, for example, the second biggest concentration of nationals now living in Croatia are from Nepal. And we now have 8,370 who have either temporary or permanent residency. And by contrast, in 2018, the biggest number of foreigners was from Bosnia, was just over 7,000. And if you look in the top 10 today, we also have the Philippines and we have India. And I found quite a bizarre statistic, which is that there are more people from Uzbekistan with temporary or permanent residence in Croatia than from the UK these days. And so definitely this trend of attracting workers from the Far East to come and do some of the jobs here in Croatia that Croatians are no longer doing because they're going to places like Germany is something that's definitely happening. And so the number of foreigners in 2022 was about 127,000, so it's an increase of quite a lot in 4.5 years. And then in addition to that, I asked the ministry how many people do we have from Ukraine, and there are about 2,500 Ukrainians with temporary permanent residence, and there's now about 22,000 who are here but not on residences. You know, that equates to about 95% Croat versus 99.3% Croat back in 2018. So it's a small shift, but it's a shift. And you know, as the emigration continues and as the diaspora are not returning in greater numbers, and as the need for cheaper labour continues, then the demographics of Croatia will probably slowly continue to change. Not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, just that it's a thing, and I think it's an interesting thing to monitor.